Chicken flew over the top of the patio and was on the patio. I was wondering where he was at last night when I went out looking for his ass when he kept crowing. Like, I hear him. He sounds nearby. And I think he was in the patio, but he was. It's a real pain in the ass. I look forward to the radical changes that are going to be made by the living Christ, the living Messiah, and technology as soon as possible. I'm working on it. I'm doing I'm doing an excellent job. I'm doing the very best I can. I'm not required to ask, your permission to be the Christ. You're required to seek my forgiveness because I'm right and you're wrong, and I'm good and you're bad, and I'm truthful and you're a liar. And so, all your commercials that we still have going on, it's by 2013, January 22nd, I'd done all that was required of the documentation to support your government documentation as to living in the right ways of, even though some of the linguistics about God and this and that were a little off, I was just, let's live the Lord's Prayer, and you would not do that. And you're considering yourself a Christian nation, the whole separation of church and state and all that bullshit that you do. The state is an invention of idolatry and philanthropy. Okay. You cannot separate your morals from the truth of your existence. Okay. That was an interpretation of someone's perception, of what they think someone's saying. And it's wrong. Okay. Thomas Jefferson was fundamentally wrong. Thomas Paine was fundamentally wrong. Okay. You're all fundamentally wrong. Okay. And this kind of advertising and stuff that you guys are doing is wrong. Right? We don't have to tolerate, selling maxi pads anymore because women have to get out and engage in philanthropy, idolatry. Okay, this kind of stuff should have started stopping by January 22nd, 2013, during the second Obama administration, right after his inauguration. I'd done everything required. I stepped up to protect him from people threatening to assassinate him online. That's what made me get up and start posting online, was people were threatening to kill Barack Obama because he was the first brown president. And at the time, I thought he was a better person than me. I thought he was going to get the things done that the Kennedys and Malcolm X and all those guys we grew up admiring had started. Okay. I thought he was a better person than me. Alan Gibson took me out in the desert and told me, he's not going to help you. He's a politician. And I was sitting there thinking, oh no, he admires the guys that I admired growing up, and he's going to stand up and do the right thing. He's going to do Abraham, Martin, and John. He's going to do the Dion, so he's going to do it, right? This is the right, but because of the virtual presence in my house and of the abuse of my life from selfish people that wanted to eliminate the truth of Abrahamic religion and replace it with their egotistical perception, it just wasn't meant to be. But so it wasn't meant to be at that time. That doesn't mean that I am not real, that I've not proven myself the living Christ beyond any reasonable doubts. I don't have to ask your permission to be me, but you have to ask my forgiveness for denying the truth of me. Okay, because I am the way, the truth, and life. And you're not reflecting that. And I've proved to your technology beyond any reasonable doubts the standard of the faith and the truth of our creation of human beings that got tested and put to the worst gauntlet of, just horrible treatment of a very, 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 of a Job-like person, of a perfect person, a perfect man, like Job and Jonah. Okay. And, a faithful person that will not waver from his faith in God, that will not be selfish and abusive and manipulate people to get what he wants from them, right? Okay? So I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of being judged by people that have the same biological feelings and desires to be affectionate, to sexually reproduce that I do, and then treat me like I'm some kind of fucking pervert because I've always done my best to be a good, respectful, empathetic, kind, caring, brave person, and they are selfish and have not. I'm sick of this shit. I don't have to put up with this shit anymore. I look forward to living the Gospels and sharing the Gospels with this technology immediately, okay, with this social media page, okay? And if you are unwilling to participate in that, okay, then that's on you, okay? I can't go and change your history on the quantum computing. I can't get you to be a truthful person. I can't get you to stop advertising maxi pads and chicken sandwiches and cars and and being a dysfunctional person who thinks you need money for your sex life and your sex life is more important than other people's capacity to sexually reproduce. It's horrible. You just horrible people. I had no clue or idea how selfish and horrible you would continue to be after the truth of good religious thoughts, words, and actions and practices were proven to you beyond any reasonable doubts by the worst abuse and temptation you could ever inflict on a human being that had stories of religions about his existence. This is just horrible. Okay. Can't get any sleep because of that damn rooster. I am so sick of you fucking assholes at NASA, you fucking assholes at National Security Agency, at Homeland Security, that stupid fucking Tony guy when I was trying to date Peggy. You all right? That was insulting as hell. Okay? Calls up and asks if she's all right. Serious fuckingly? Okay. And those assholes at my family's churches, watching Natalie be sexually manipulated by Messenger and Facebook to make me feel and look inadequate as a person in teaching people about sexuality and protecting people's sexuality, right? You guys are horrible people. But I used to feel kind of bad. I don't feel bad for Mark Zuckerberg and his wife anymore, or Sheryl Sandberg. They're getting exactly what they deserve. I don't feel bad for any of you multi-billion and trillion and millionaire philanthropists that are still doing the selfish things you're doing and refuse to recognize the living Messiah who has proved his religion and his values and his morals and his courage and his kindness and his faith beyond any reasonable doubts. Okay, so, and I understand exactly why there's a book called Revelation at the end of the Bible that has extensive information about my birth, my parents, my family, why there's a prophetic information about my nephew Isaac and his birth and his family. So I understand exactly why there are so many stories through so many religions about my family and our family's existence. Okay. What's still happening with my dad and my siblings and stuff like that, that's because you guys are asses, okay? If fucking any shithead with, over 1 million followers and $1 billion showed up and just gave me the respect and said, this guy's the Messiah, it's him, he's the Christ, what good comes out of Nazareth, ba-boom, boom, right? My dad would totally change his tune and treat me totally differently if just one TV accepted, successful philanthropist asshole just acknowledged me publicly as the Messiah and said, but none of you assholes will fucking do that. So you want me to be mad at my dad every time he scowls at me and looks at me cross-eyed because I don't tell him that he's God and I believe he's God and I need him to be killed in the first century to pay for my disgustingness. I refuse to sit and tell somebody that. I will not sit there and look somebody in the face and say, I believe you're God, and I believe that your physical body had to be killed year one in the Roman Empire from saving me from being such a disgusting person that trapped the soul in my ego. I will not tell anybody that. There's not a person on planet Earth that I will tell that to because I don't believe it, because it's not true. Okay? I'm not required to lie to you and promote your delusions of egotistical bullshit invented by Constantine and Jerome to deny us the truth of a living Christ and Messiah so we can live his eternal faithful peace through understanding his faith. Okay, I refuse to do that. I refuse to tell you that you're God and in the first century you needed to be murdered to save me from being a disgusting person. Now, I'm not going to do that. That's fundamentally wrong. Okay? That's disgusting to say that and to teach that to people and for people to believe that. That's why I understood Bill Nye and Chris Hitchens and Richard Dawkins and all the rest of those fucking assholes in Sierra Vista that I had no fucking clue they even existed. But for some strange reason, they understood I existed, but didn't treat my life and my existence and my capacity to think and speak and do things as well as theirs. That's just, I tried to acknowledge and tried to say, I understand. I feel your frustration. I was just as frustrated with the Mormon Church and the Catholic Church and the terrorists on TV that call themselves Muslims and murder. I was just as frustrated too by all that hypocrisy and all that stupid mythological bullshit. So let's do right by it. Let's totally change how we think and speak and act and understanding, okay, the true, because forgive debt and trespass, love one, eternal faithful peace. That's supposed to be the tenet of Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. And no way, it's so simple to do, and no one's attempting to do that at all except for me. Okay, so I am not required to prove myself as the Christ to any of you hypocrite, heathen, lying, murdering assholes. But you are required to accept the truth of my existence, and you are required to seek my forgiveness and live my truth of my existence, because it's the truth of your existence too, no matter how much you protest and want to be George the lawyer from the aristocrats. You dumbasses. That's you right there. Okay? That's you. The old rich lady with the make-believe money, giving it all to the cats, and the crazy old fucking lawyer. And Louis Armstrong's band pretending to, play the horn so you don't have a square take you back to the caveman days. I mean, you guys are assholes. That's all you are. You're cartoon character fucking assholes doing the stupidest fucking things and saying Jesus is watching this, God is watching us from a distance, and God so approves of Uncle Waldo being drunk, right? Because he deserves it, Tip up a glass and celebrate the stupidity. Hey, there's Leopold and Napoleon. George Lindsay and Pat Buttram, right? Because everybody's got to pay their bills according to you assholes. Fuck, what a bunch of jerks, man. I never, in my wildest imagination, okay, when Jesus told me when I was a kid, Earl, this is stupid, and you're the man who's going to help me stop all this stupidity. I never, in my wildest imagination, when he told me that, thought that, once I proved it beyond reasonable doubts, that I would have to be fixing the technology with, they didn't even have these on Star Trek when I was a kid. They talked into things. They didn't have the little face things. Like the Jetsons. I didn't think that I would be like Jane Jetson with her friend putting her face on every morning to talk to her and sneeze and, oh, poor whatever. I didn't think that I would be doing like the Jetsons. okay, in the 21st century after being 50 years old and still having to be, Jane Jetson fixing her friend's hypocrisy who puts on her fake face to talk to her in the morning because I don't know. It's just so fucking stupid. It's not that we still have these stupid TV shows on like Air Bud and all that, and we're still selling maxi pads. And you ever hear about the Aggie that worked in the maxi pad factory? He thought he was making mattresses for mice, right? Like Sterling Holloway, yeah, who plays the mouse in that movie. Yeah, it's like, okay, Sterling Hall, that old Mally cat. Why didn't you say so? Damn, you guys are just the dumbest, most selfish, dysfunctional assholes in the history of the world. You have the capacity to go, hey, this is the guy, he's the Messiah, and tell everybody. You have cell phones. You could call your whole fucking family. I met the Messiah today at Walmart. He has sacrificed so much and has gone through so much fucking torture. But no, I get this fucking kid who gets a lot of make-believe money to catch footballs for NMSU. How do I know you're not the Antichrist? Serious fuckingly? I respect you, but you don't respect me. You don't believe the truth of my life. You don't believe the amazing things I've done to protect people from accepting money that gets children raped to death in Mexico. And I sat and explained that to him. I'm the only one that stood up to protect the little girls from being trafficked in Mexico to stop Sicario movies. Everybody else stepped down. I was all by myself in Cochise County with fucking Jack Reacher and Jack Ryan and Mike B. Jordan all following me around in their goddamn little fucking black Jeeps and their black T-shirts and their muscly fucking bodies that you guys, oh goddamn, that are doing yard work for vets because entitled lady is bitching about how the house looks so bad. And it's like... Yeah. Be more concerned about living free from debt and trespass and using your technology to share living truthfully than if your neighbors have weeds in their fucking yard. Okay? It's not entitled. It's just stupid. Okay? Call it what it is. Superficial, selfish, and stupid. Just like the people who get lawn equipment and show up and have everybody get cameras to talk about what a stupid bitch this lady is and not realizing that you're just as stupid of a bitch as she is. This guy's off killing people to maintain the status quo so we can all be bitchy with our cameras and try to make the other person look like a bigger bitch than we are. That's an angry, mean, pissed off lady who doesn't like the house next door looking like it's a bunch of drug addicts living in it and don't care if the weeds and the things grow over the house and stuff. And given the dynamic of this kind of advertising, it doesn't make perfect sense, but it's kind of understandable why Bill Nye says religion is child abuse, right? You guys are such assholes and such fucking idiots. I didn't think it would be harder to be like Jesus, David, and Daniel, and Joseph in the 21st century than it was in the first century and before. No, there's no way in hell. We have global communications and a scientific community that, there's no way in hell it's going to be harder to be the Messiah July 25th, 2026 than it was July 25th, 317 BC, right? Fuck. Shit. Shit. I can pick up a phone. It bounces off 2 fucking cell phone towers. Dum. Goes up to satellites and can be made available to every fucking arrogant shithead who prays to Jesus to save them from their arrogant shithead, right? Fuck! I get to be me, you stupid assholes. Muhammad told me so, and I trust him and I believe him. I believe my prayers. I trust my prayers. Okay, I don't trust any of you assholes. You're getting dogs and dressing them up in clown outfits and making make-believe money that gets little girls raped to death in Mexico off of it by advertising maxi pads and drugs for skin disorders caused by chemical toxins by the pickup truck that you have to drive around to pay your extortion. Just the good old boys. Never meaning no harm. Beats all you ever saw. Been in trouble with the law since the day they was born. Flattening the hills, straightening the curves. Right? Is that Barbara Bach? Think she'll go out with me? Yeah, you guys are such jerks and assholes. I guess I kind of had a crush on her too when I was a kid. Well, yeah, you know. And the little blonde girls on Hee Haw. Oh yeah, they're some of the cutest women you ever saw. Oh my gosh, she's so pretty. If she walked up to me and said, "Hi, I'd like you to be my boyfriend," you'd say, "Okay, I had a big crush on Miriam Cologne, but she never showed up, so this is my girlfriend." And if Miriam Cologne shows up and says, "Hey, I want to start having sex with you because I'm jealous of the hot blonde," I'd sit there and say, "You know what? I'm the Messiah, and if I was you and that selfish and dumb as you, I'd be jealous of the hot blonde too." Gloom, despair, and agony on me. Whoa, deep, dark depression, excessive misery. If it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Gloom, despair, and agony on me. Yep. I went on YouTube and Facebook to tell you the truth of the gospels beyond any reasonable doubt. But you went and voted for president to sell maxi pads and antidepressants, and you were stupid as fuck, and then you was gone. Where are you tonight? Why did you leave me here all alone to be woke by that stupid ass rooster at 4 in the fucking morning? You were seduced by fuck money and you was gone. Assholes. Don't take my hee-haw away. Please take your hee-haw away. Please stop advertising. Please stop doing stories about real estate and purchasing real estate and moving across country to be indoctrinated at different schools. And it's a big change. And it's, and a dog's going to teach you to be a star basketball player so you can be the next Larry Bird or Michael Jordan. Crass came the life of test pilot. Well, Dad was a hero. A hero. Okay. How about Dad standing up for the Lord's Prayer so we don't have to make any more movies from Disney to sell maxi pads and anti-fucking depressants? And cars and drive cars to pay assholes to live here to fill their amusement parks. Got to move those refrigerators. Got to move those color TVs, right? Such fucking assholes. Okay, dog. Pretend we're abusing the hell out of you by neglect through philanthropy and economic dysfunction. Okay, now we're going to film you. Good job, dog. Yeah, this is one of the best acting dogs I've ever seen since the history of Ren Tin Tin and Lassie. Yeah, and Don Amici, Michael J. Fox, and the cat wasn't too bad, right, Nurse Bertil? Oh, Gidget. You guys are such fucking assholes. And none of you assholes think you are. You think you're a goddamn fucking genius. You think you're the hardest working bitch in show business. You are such fucking assholes. Yes, I didn't get a good night's sleep. My leg still fucking hurts from chemical poisoning from your Supreme Court inventing laws. Okay, yeah, I deserve to wake up and cuss you the fuck out. Okay? I earned this. Okay. You earned this. Own it, bitch. Okay. God damn, But I look forward to having a wife, okay, who believes in me, who wants to raise children to be loved by a man like me. Okay, a woman that looks at me and says, "That is the man I have dreamed of. I dreamed of you, my love and my best friend." I long for that day. I look forward to that day. I deserve it. I've earned that. Okay. I don't know about the rest of you assholes hitting people in the head with a fucking tequila bottle or choking people in an incarceration institution and then telling your daughters you love them with a straight fucking face, right? Telling women you love them when you have sex with them and sing songs about them for a dysfunctional sex life for fuck money. Yeah, with your fucking face. I mean, your face, it talks, right? Okay. You're a fucking liar and you're selfish. Why do you talk in front of people? Why do you tell women you love them? Why do you tell children you love them? Okay. Look at your parents and say, did your parents love you? Did they tell you Jesus Christ was right, that you should live the Lord's Prayer and share it eternally way? It's the only way to love a woman and love children? Well, then if they told you that in the name of Jesus Christ, Bo Jackson's going to stiff arm you into the fucking turf at Jordan-Hare Stadium to run for a touchdown so you can have your dinner with Gershwin and your Rembrandt sketch, fucking asshole. Go to the store, by all means, buy some costume jewelry of Roman pagan sacrifice and call that jewelry a reflection of your God, and tell your ego you are the best maxi pad antidepressant salesperson in the history of the Antichrist, right? Hey, own it, bitch. Own it. Take your name, image, and likeness and fucking own it. Okay? If you don't like what you're doing, if you don't like what you become, if you need an innocent person to be murdered to pay out for your sins, okay, then own it. Okay? Because it's what's on quantum computing right now. It's your history. It's going to go down as your history. Okay? And when I stand up and listen to, because I listened to Jesus as a kiddo, and I stand up all by myself and correct your technology and your taxpayer dollars to save us from your technology and your taxpayer dollars. Okay. You're not going to be able to go back and say, I believed Ralph Earl Parsons Jr. was the living Christ and the Redeemer and saved us from mass genocide over money. Right? You're not going to be able to say that. It's going to be too late. You're going to seal your pages in hell. And you're going to go down in history as the people on Wall Street that made money off of liquidating the assets of all the people murdered during the Holocaust to make the United States the most powerful economy in the history of the modern world. Yeah, okay. This propaganda Ken Burns video was made possible by contributions from viewers like you, right? Is that dumbass still alive? There was another dumbass that was still alive. I was like, I thought he was dead. Oh, Christopher Lee, I thought he was dead. There's lots of people say, I thought he was dead. He's still kicking. Wow. There's lots of people that was watching here recently going, I thought that person died a long time ago. And then other people that are dead that I thought was still kicking it and making TV show bullshit like Curtis Jackson. Yeah, old Montel Jordan, he's it was no. Yeah, isn't it Montel or is it Montel Williams? I can't remember. The Montel guy, the ex-Marine doing propaganda for, cats jumping on your head because they're excited you're going to care because they're reacting to the human beings. That's all they're doing. It's like the monkeys with Cullen and Day-Day. It's just the animals reacting to the human beings to do behaviors that are pleasing to these human beings. That's all they're doing. So they can trend online and make money off of advertising dollars to sell maxi pads and antidepressants. Yeah. Assholes. I don't care if you don't like me. Okay. What did we do before they sold maxi pads? Well, the Hebrews had a sacred bath area where women would go because of how sacred sexual reproduction is. And they could be together and they could understand and empathize and pass on this humble, faithful understanding and regard for sexual reproduction. The Pequot used to do the same thing and were massacred by the pilgrims because they were acting like the Jews who, through propaganda, were supposed to be the Christ killers according to the Roman Church. and the Episcopal Church and the Lutheran Church and the Methodist Church. And then we had the Holocaust. And then because we had mass communications, everybody felt really bad about their hypocrisy. Like Vietnam and the Civil Rights Movement and Susan B. Anthony's stupid Ruth Gator Ginsburg ass, right? And the wife on Mary Poppins. And God damn, they're dumb. Yeah, they are. Okay. The dumbest collection of maxi pad antidepressant cars dealers in the history of personal injury lawyers. Yes, they are dumb as fuck. Good call. Good call. Thank you. You're welcome. You don't even need to get a card to pay a lawyer to see you, or, we don't get paid unless you get paid. All you have to have is a library card, and you don't even need a YouTube account to watch YouTube and go look up the 2013 22nd Redeemer and Me to go and totally redeem yourself. And you don't have to sell the shaggin' wagon to a kid in town in Nebraska for a moped to get to Aspen. It's a long way from LA to Denver. It's a long way at time to hang in the sky. It's a long way home to Starwood and Aspen, the sweet Rocky Mountain paradise. Yeah. Well, at least this time the Gospels will be different because we had quantum computing to collect all the evidence, and it can't go back and be changed by Adolf Hitler to turn Strauss into a Jew because he likes the Emperor Walsh, right? Zang! I guess you guys all owe David Rockefeller and Philip Rothschild a solid, right? Especially Mark Zuckerberg and his wife Priscilla and Sheryl Sandberg. You guys really yeah. You guys need to do Howard Hewitt and Jody Watley, and I owe you one. You made my day with the way you collect evidence of love. I owe you one. I owe you one. And Earl, you never asked if my credit was good. You just gave us love like you understood. Late that night, woke up by the goddamn fucking rooster at 4 a.m. Oh, that reminds me, I got to boil water and put hummingbird sugar water in the hummingbird feeders. Yeah. Don't feel sorry for the little girl pretending to be a Disney cartoon character to Dwayne Rock Johnson for money, being for imprint. Certain maxi pad antidepressant salespeople, the used car dealers and personal injury lawyers of the Rio Grande rivalry, right? Hey, man, I can't live the Gospels for you. Okay? I can just live them for me. I am the light. I am the way. I am the way, the truth, and the life. Okay? You got to make a decision. Leave tonight or live and die this way. Okay? Peace out, man. Last night you heard the cockadoodling loud voices behind the wall. Don't know good to call the local authorities. They don't come at all. Come late. They don't think they need to do anything reflecting the beauty of me. I've had people in this town tell me they could run me over in the parking lot of a Best Buy and be if I never existed. Yeah, they're real fucking heroes. Yeah, look out there, cats got somebody filming it with a cell phone, and it's gonna go jump on their chest and jump up on their head and smile for the camera because they think they're Steely Dan. You do know that's a sex? Yeah, I know. Okay.